Okay, once your hovercraft is complete, the battery can get mounted on the battery clip. One thing you'll notice is the battery clip might be pretty wide, so if you squeeze it really good, squeeze it in, and the battery will hold on a little bit better. You're going to set the battery in this way and put a piece of tape over the top of it, or sometimes the battery will fit in this way if you spread the battery clip parts apart a little bit. In the end, the idea is that when you hit the switch, the fan that's in the bottom blows air down, and that lifts the hovercraft up. Now, it won't lift way up off the surface. It'll come off the surface just a little bit. Some air will spill out underneath the foam and go out, lifting the hovercraft off the surface, decreasing friction. And then there's this fan that's here, and it blows air in that direction. The air is directed through this round shroud and comes out the back. The rudder that's on the back can be used to help steer it from one side to the other. And if you put the rudder on correctly, you should be able to direct it one way or the other way. This one here is kind of loose, so in order to keep it on there nice and straight, and to put this little piece of tape on it or something, that's just like a little solution in this case, that keeps it from flopping around. So in the end, if it's well balanced and you turn it on, then it should go in a straight line. So that's pretty good. If there's too much weight in one portion of it, then a corner might touch down. So for instance, if I take this battery and put it over here in this corner, it makes this corner of the hovercraft a lot heavier. And now when I turn it on, this corner of the hovercraft will touch the paper, and it'll usually just spin around that point. You can see it doesn't go in a nice straight line because this point here is too heavy. If you adjust the position of the battery clip forward or backward, or left or right, you'll end up at a position like this one's balanced pretty well, that when you turn it on, it'll go in a nice straight line. If you hear a lot of rattling, then that could be because the fan in the bottom is maybe touching the foam. In this one, the fan was touching over here, so I cut out some more of the foam. Now the fan runs nice and smoothly. Don't be afraid to cut some extra foam out. And actually this one could use just a little bit more foam to be gone. In fact, I can just kind of snap some off here. Just kind of bend it up a little bit. There we go. Now it doesn't touch at all. It might run even a little bit better now. Let's see. So that's pretty good. This thing about the rudder on the back, if I move the rudder to one side or the other, it'll redirect the air. So if I push the rudder over to this side, now when the air comes out, instead of going straight toward the back, it'll get turned to the side. And now I expect the hovercraft to go in that direction. So here I'll turn it on again. Turn to the right. If I push the rudder over to the other side, I expect it to go the other direction, head on this direction. That sort of just unbalanced it a lot. So here's an obvious position where it tends to run nice and straight. That's pretty good. Try not to run the fan too long. If you leave the fan on a long time, the battery will run down very quickly. 1 9-volt battery should be plenty enough for you to do all the testing and get it to run nice and straight.